The Kansas City Chiefs are nearing the final stretch of another season, and something is in the air. Expectations are high, especially with the return of their leader, Patrick Mahomes, after an ankle injury. Every day, more reports surface. Mahomes is fully participating in practices, showing no signs of hesitation. What many thought could compromise the season is now turning into an opportunity for revenge. In a recent practice, the quarterback walked without a limp, surprising even the most skeptical. Now, what's at stake is much more than just a game against the Houston Texans. With Mahomes back on the team, the Chiefs are once again dreaming of the title. But to get there, the team had to go through unexpected trials. Will Mahomes' leadership be enough to overcome everything that has happened so far? And more importantly, how has this injury affected the team's dynamic? In this video, we'll explore not only Mahomes' return, but also the Chiefs' epic journey this season. But before we dive into the details, here's a question you won't be able to answer with numbers alone. Can you remember the moment when the Chiefs' season took a turn no one expected? Stay with me, and let's discover how the Chiefs got here, one game at a time. When the season began, all eyes were on Patrick Mahomes, not just for his exceptional ability, but for how he transformed the team. The Chiefs were confident, prepared to have a great season, expecting Mahomes once again to lead the team to the playoffs and perhaps the Super Bowl. But then, the unthinkable happened. Mahomes suffered an ankle injury in a game against the Cleveland Browns, and the entire stadium felt the tension in the air. The quarterback, who carried the hopes of the team and the fans, was out of action. Now what? What would become of the Chiefs without their star? How would the team react? This is where the first big test for the Chiefs began. The team's response to adversity. Could the team maintain its performance level without Mahomes? Do you remember the moment that changed everything? Maybe it wasn't such a severe injury, but it shook everyone's confidence. However, one of the greatest strengths of a team is not its star player, but the ability to adapt and evolve. When Mahomes left the field, what followed wasn't the end of the season, but the birth of a new philosophy. Carson Wentz, the backup quarterback, had to step into the leadership role. And while the pressure was immense, he managed to lead the team skillfully. But something essential was missing: the full trust of the fans and players. But was that enough? After all, no one expected Wentz to replace Mahomes, right? This transition wasn't easy. The team faced tough moments, especially in the following weeks, with unexpected losses. But this also forged something in the heart of the team. The Chiefs needed more than individual talent. They needed unity, a team that supported each other, believed in Mahomes' recovery, and knew that together they could overcome any obstacle. Now, a question for you, fan. Was the Chiefs' adaptation just luck? Or was there something deeper behind this transition that kept them alive in the title race? With Mahomes returning to practice, the Chiefs finally breathed a sigh of relief. But would his recovery be enough to regain the lost rhythm? In his first appearance after the injury, Mahomes already showed signs of his immense skill. Walking without a limp, with no apparent difficulties, he was ready to take the field again. The confidence in the team, which had seemed to waver, began to grow once more. But the questions were inevitable. Would Mahomes be able to return to his pre-injury level? Could he lead the Chiefs toward the title again, as he had in past seasons? Or would he be destined to be a shadow of the player everyone knew? The chemistry between Mahomes and his teammates, including the explosive offense with Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce, was restored almost instantly. But now, the question that divides fans: was it luck or skill? Some believe Mahomes' recovery was a miracle, while others see it as the result of the player's physical and mental preparation. And the truth may lie somewhere in between these two extremes. One of the best parts of this recovery was the psychological impact Mahomes had on the team. He wasn't just physically recovered, but emotionally prepared to lead again. His presence in the locker room, at the front line, inspired the players to give their best. Now, with Mahomes back, the Chiefs were reborn with a new perspective and renewed energy. However, the difficulties were far from over. The playoffs were approaching, and the pressure to return to the top was immense. Every game from then on was a test of endurance and trust. But the big question is, will Mahomes' recovery be enough for the Chiefs to dominate the playoffs and reach the Super Bowl? Or are more challenges still ahead? What do you think? Leave your opinion in the comments. With Mahomes back and confidence restored, the Chiefs advanced to the playoffs. But the path to the Super Bowl wouldn't be easy. The competition was fierce, and the opposing teams were in excellent shape. Each round of the playoffs brought more tension, more excitement, and more hope for the Chiefs fans. But one thing became clear. The Chiefs team was no longer the same. They weren't just a team that depended on one star. They were now a well-oiled machine, where each piece, from Mahomes to Kelsey, including the defense, was contributing to the team's success. Head coach Andy Reid's strategy was also crucial in this process. He knew that to win the title, he needed more than just talent. It required a well-executed plan and players willing to give everything for a common goal. The playoff games, especially against the toughest opponents, showed just how important this collective aspect of the team was. And now, the big question. Do you think the Chiefs will be able to replicate this performance next season? Do they have the tools to continue dominating the NFL? Or will they be vulnerable to a new challenge? Leave your comment below. We're reading everything.